On today's open house, I'm going to be talking to Collin Simpson, loan officer at Nexa Mortgage. Noted loan officer, my brother. Is doing like triple duty today because he is a past client of mine. We used to work together. We work together now in a different capacity. Really an awesome capacity now. Yep. So I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck, as they say. I try not to use them colloquialisms, but I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck out of this episode. So I'm going to be a little stingy, and we're going to be getting a lot of questions answered because people have them. We both make the transition from working in corporate America to basically having our own businesses. So being more responsible for ourselves, and I'm a little older than Collin, so it was really scary for me.
Just a little bit. Just
a little bit of more seasoning on me than him. So today is going to be super exciting. I'm trying not to bombard him with questions, but if we start sounding too mortgagey, yes, that's the word, too mortgagey, you let us know. Because we'll be saying stuff because we're both in the business. We'll be like, oh, remember that CTC? And remember I sent those docs over and they didn't say nothing and blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to try to dumb it down. No, I shouldn't say dumb it down. Lord, sorry, my audience. I'm going to try to keep it as plain as I can. But some things we're going to go into because the market is like nothing I've ever seen before. It's on fire right now. I don't know what you even call this, an inferno. Yeah. I just don't know. I'll get us started. Collin, tell us a little bit of your story of mortgages, how you got to being he started out, when I met him, he was an account executive at United, and was I executive? I don't think I was.
He was in a different team, but you was coming up that way.
I wasn't even AE yet, and Collin was already AE, so I was like, okay, here we go. So give us a little background on how you got there and what exactly an account executive does there.
Got you. First off, thanks for having me on the show. No, I know that this was a long time coming.
Yes.
We did the radio show back in the day.
You know it's been 2-3 years since the radio show.
I still get like notifications from Facebook.
They were saying we're going to do a reunion. We need to because that was hot. We didn't know it was hot. We knew it was hot when we were doing it. I didn't know it would keep going how people still ask about it now.
And if you think about it, that catapulted us in where we are now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So,
yes.
I'll never forget. I remember a lot of things from the past. You told me one day, like you showed me how to do Facebook Live. Imagine that. You showed me how to go live.
I here do this, boy.
And the same day, and I'm like, I got obsessed with it. And then you was like, A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what you were saying at the time, but looking back on it, you spoke that into my life.
Yes.
Here we are. So I owe you a big thing.
Speak life, speak life over my career.
Definitely one of those things where you meet people when you cross paths. Like,
yes.
I didn't know who you were at UWM. I saw you around the building and whatnot. People that I knew you. I didn't know who you were, and now we brothers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So, yeah. So I'm happy to be here. But to kind of give you background on how I got to UWM, man, I was cleaning parking lots.
Really?
I was living in right outside of Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
A town called Swartz Creek, living in a trailer house. Raising 2 little girls. And I had a job, third shift, middle of the night, in a big old truck with the broom on the side.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know those trucks.
But here's the deal. I was happy. I enjoyed every moment of it because I'm making a little money.
Yeah.
But I'm working third shift. And I got 2 little girls.
Tired.
I go home, wouldn't ever get a chance to see them. Real quick story. One day, I'm watching them, right? Well, I'm supposed to be watching them, but I done worked 13 hours.
Sleep.
I fell asleep. My oldest daughter messed around and went in the dryer. Closed the door. You know what I mean? So to kind of, go pivot from that to UWM, they called me up and was like, hey, we want you to come work for us. And I'm asleep when they call me.
Right.
And I'm like, who is calling me here? And shout out to Rocky Lund for hooking me up with this job too, by the way. But I'm like, who is this? And I finally answer the phone. Hello.
Right.
He's like, hi. This is UW. I'm like, hi. How are you? I'm right. Real quick.
Quick, step out of it.
And once I got in there, I was like, if you get me in here, Lord, I'll take it from here.
Yeah, if you get my foot in this door.
Yeah. Didn't know mortgage had 2 G's in it. You know what I mean? Spelling wise. So get in there and just met a whole bunch of people and network with everybody that I could.
You sure did.
I knew I was at home. You know what I mean? And when we talk about networking with folks, here we are. That's a strong network. So UWM really gave me a set of tools that I could take out into doing what I'm doing now. So pandemic hit, the market kind of went crazy, mortgages went crazy, upside down for a minute. A buddy of mine was like, hey man, why don't we, open our own shop and do our own thing? And I had a cousin who lives out of town who you went to high school with. He owns his own shop in a different state. He didn't ask me for years.
I remember you said that. Yeah,
I brought it to you first because first he approached me as to, I want you to come down here and be a realtor for me. And I'm like, I got 2 girls up here. I can't leave. And then he was like, well, why don't you become a loan officer and then you can just close my deals. So when I approached you with it, and you were like, hey man, I think it's a great idea. So I went and got my license. And I like to, think of it this way. Like, I prepared 5 years for what I'm doing now. Like a lot of you folks out there who might know a little something about the Lord, who love the Lord. Jesus prepared 30 years for a 3-year ministry. You know what I mean? So the preparation and time and things that I learned from UWM, now the structure, all that thing. Now I'm able to take that and I'm on my own and I'm working hard and doing good things.
I love it. Tell us about. Well, I know. Now for those who don't know, Collin was a client of mine. He's not a new homeowner. What do you call that? Now you've been in the house.
First time home buyer, baby.
It's been how many years now?
FTHB.
It's been 2, 3.
No.
That was last year.
No, that was this year in February.
It feels like. See, when you friends, when you brothers with people, it feels longer than what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna tell his whole journey, but when he said I'm gonna get a house, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. When I tell y'all he worked and saved, and he's like, damn it, it was like we would have the best talks on the way down to the Music and Meet This Mills radio show. It was like counseling for us.
It really was.
We was counseling each other so listen. One week he would be like, Dame, I'm working on my credit this month. And I would be like, you know what? I'm going to get some real car insurance this month. Or I'm going to do this month. Or I'm going to. So we would set little goals for ourselves. And when he was saying it, I was like, he really going to get a house. We was like, oh, so when he ready, he going to get a house. Lo and behold, he called one day and was like, I think I'm ready. And I was like, you ready? He's like, I think I'm ready. And I'm going to be PC politically correct here and not just name every name. But the person who was helping him get his house, I don't think people really understand when they see the other side of the business. From when you're being in the account executive, you don't see the realtor side, how the LOs talk to the realtors really sideways, and the emails be sometimes sideways.
I told that story 2 days ago.
Yeah, and what happened was, I was like, well, he's coming from United. Everybody wants a United employee to close, and here we go. Well, the company that we went to do the loan, I let him see the emails they were sending. And I let him hear a 3-way conversation. They told him he was effed. We sent the email out. It was something going on with their appraisal, and we were trying to save the loan, and United was trying to save the loan, and we got on with the LO, and I didn't file a complaint, and I should have. They're like, your client fucked. And I was like, oh. What basically happened, they swiped your credit card for the appraisal, and then didn't order it. I was like, ooh, LO, you can't do that. You can't swipe and then don't order. Just because it's Labor Day, that don't mean nothing. And we really, really wanted this house. It was gorgeous, and we were like, you never want your client to feel defeated and get discouraged because then you don't get the sale. And they're like,
let me jump in. We thought we wanted that house. That's part B of the story.
We thought we wanted that house. And so we waited, like a month or so, maybe? Like a couple months. And so glad we did, because the new house came along, and we looked at a couple. We've been out like 2 weeks, I think. Maybe like 2 weeks.
We went out 2 weeks,
2 weeks. And the second, this is the second round. I knew when we pulled up. I didn't know from the street, because we couldn't. I can't see the neighborhood because it's like you got to go up into the neighborhood. I knew the style he wanted, because we were looking kind of the same house. It was just like different neighborhoods. Right. So when we pulled up, we were like, I think this is. Everybody says that. Like, Damon, how do you know? I was like, you get a vibe off of it. When you know, unless it's Billy Goats in the inside and a farm, this is it. So you kind of know the house, and I'm so happy that it ended up turning out the way it was, the way it happened, because even when we first looked at the house, you can't tell how big it is until you get in it.
Yeah, and then the seller's stuff was still in there too.
Yeah.
So you really didn't have a feel for how big it really was.
You can't see the right-hand side of your house, how it keeps going. We were like, it's a whole nother side to the house. Man. Here we go. I was so happy, and so when we talked about this, when I grew up, with a big yard, and it kind of, I don't know, I like to play and use my imagination. I still do. Kids need that space, especially now during COVID.
And they use it. They use it.
They use. And I love when I see your videos of you playing with them and they running, because I remember being out in my backyard sledding and playing with the neighborhood kids. And you grow up needing. You never know. You will never know it now, but you never know how much you need that space.
Yeah.
Just to like have your own. So I tell people, sometimes when you have kids, it's not about the big dining room. It's about, can you let them go outside?
And that first house didn't have any of that.
Remember the house we looked at that was all kitchen, and we walked in like, oh, this is fabulous. It was like, where's the rest of it?
Where's the rest of it? Where's the yard?
Even the agent was like, keep looking over here.
Yeah.
We were like, I said, but y'all didn't. I mean, it was all kitchen. I was like, so if you were a chef, you great. But I was
Which
like,
I'm not.
If you make eggs today, you gonna smell them eggs. And I don't like eggs, everybody. If you cook eggs and bacon, you gonna smell that all week. It's like, so yeah, the looking and the market was different then. It was quote unquote normal. Mm-hmm. Now that you're at LO, I've never had to do appraisal guarantees. I've never had to do offering $5 and $10,000 over to get deals.
Yeah, it's a different ballgame.
It's a different ballgame. Yeah. I try to tell people, really talk to your LO, because I don't get into the what's in their bank account, what's in this. I let y'all do y'all job. Mm-hmm. What do you tell your clients now if the house is, I used to say $250 now, y'all gonna say $350. House is $350. That's my new number for 2021. I'm fancy now. $250 is over. So if the house is $350, what do you tell people now who just, they have it, so they won't be shocked like, no, you really need this amount of money. How are you softening that blow? How are you delivering that?
You know what? It's funny you say that. You and I had the same conversation the last time I was over here about like, people don't really understand what comes along with buying a house. They think it's just, I'm gonna buy this house and pay this amount with the mortgage. Mm-hmm. It's stuff on top of that. You got yard upkeep. You got to cut the grass. You got a snow plow. You got trash. You got this. You got that. So when you say,
because y'all know trash not free no more.
No, it ain't free.
I think people forget that trash. I'm from Pontiac. We didn't pay for trash. They just picked it up. Now these companies.
Oh man.
I don't care if you buying an old house.
And they want to see you coming too.
Yeah, that new bill. Because your bill goes up slightly from the old people bill. Your bill goes up like $10. So people out there who are listening, and I can for sure claim Oakland, Wayne, Macomb County, your trash is not free. And I don't think people take that into consideration, but I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But your question was, how do you soften the blow? That's the thing. You can't soften the blow. You got to tell them what it is straight up. Listen, this is what you're going to be expecting.
Okay.
So go ahead and get your mind right and get it wrapped around the idea that you're going to pay this real price with this real money out of your real wallet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that way there's no gray area when we get down to business. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's one thing I learned. I learned that the hard way and the easy way. Like, you're gonna have to pay these bills every month. You know what I mean? COVID-19 or not, the bills gonna keep coming, baby.
Because I know from my side of mortgages, even when we get to the closing table, I try to tell people when the numbers come out, like, hey, that's cute that you got to bring $6 or $7 to close or $10,000 or whatever it is. But tomorrow DTE starts, and tomorrow the water bill starts, and tomorrow consumer starts, and tomorrow your alarm starts.
That's
and tomorrow,
right.
I try to tell people, don't buy nothing yet. Yeah. I told Collin, I think he bought a Rad lawnmower. I'm not sure yet. I try to tell people, hey,
zero turn.
That extra $5,000 that you saved that we didn't really need.
Yeah.
Now you need it. Because I always tell my client, I think I tell you, have 10.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the 10 for the down payment and the closing and the movers. I mean $10,000 just sitting there looking at you. Because you're going to look at your old couch and be like, ooh, I don't want this.
I was just about to say, I worked at our van.
Right.
So like that, when you get that house,
you're going to fill it up. You're going to fill it up.
And you've seen what other people's houses are like.
Right.
So there's an element of keeping up with the Joneses that naturally occurs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's just innate within all of us.
Because with me, I even looked at my own bills and I'm like, oh, I have to set so much aside for whatever. Yeah. And I think with homes, people say, well, how much is it going to cost to close? I always say it's going to cost this and you need that. Mm-hmm. because I want you to be in the home comfortably. I don't ever want my client to be like, Damon sold me a lemon, or he knew I couldn't afford this house, or they never blame themselves. They always say, "Oh, Damon sold me this house, no, I couldn't afford it."
And you got to be prepared for that too. That's something on your end as a realtor.
Yes.
I get it.
I try to tell them. People are asking, Damon, what is the $10,000? Where you get that number from? I said, just to have the month or two set aside for yourself, because the refrigerator and the cabinets are all bare. When you get there, they are all. That seasoned salt and that black pepper and that salt that you took over there.
That Lawry's.
That Lawry's is the only thing you have. And I try to tell people, when you move into I call September to the end of the year, this fourth quarter is the most expensive time of the year to move. Yeah. Because you never know what that heat bill is going to be until you get it. You like this. I was paying $50, now I'm paying whatever. Like, even for my condo, I looked at that bill and I was like, hey, I'm getting some plastic to these windows this year. I'm doing something.
Listen, I bought that last year and didn't use it. Oh, it's going up this year.
Yeah. That plastic to the windows, the electric blanket in the bed, it's just... So I try to tell people, be ready, have a real conversation with your loan officer. That's why I try to use the same loan officer. I know they're having those type of conversations. Yeah. I never want my buyer, hopefully, or even my seller sometimes, to get to the table like, because I've had with sellers who, I don't know if you've ever run into this yet.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Some people don't know that when you get to the table to close, I'll say Mr. Cooper, you got to pay Mr. Cooper off the $150. Mm-hmm. They don't give you the whole $200 you sold your house for. Mm-hmm. You get the $50 that's left over. And silly me, I thought that everybody knew that.
That's the other thing. Like, your position in the transaction, you know what you know.
Right.
And we assume, or it's easy to assume that the other people know what they're doing. Too.
Right.
And what they're doing.
Right. And they don't. They do not.
Yeah.
And it was a real contentious conversation where my broker had to get involved and really go line by line of who paid what, who's doing what.
Man.
It was. Because they got the check and was like,
what's all this?
Where's the rest of mine at?
Why you getting this?
And so I was like, bye, and I'll talk to you later. And it was like, well, where's the rest of the check? I said, they don't cut the big check. You get the left. I said left. It came out of my mouth, and I was
like,
I was like, ooh.
How you say stuff matters too.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I said, you get the leftover.
Yep.
Key already out. I'm like, this is an easy Friday closing. No. What turned into a Friday 4 o'clock close ended up me going back to the office like, hey, broker, man. Shout out to Derek. Hey, broker, you got to go over this amount of money with a client.
Oh, man.
We got a question. I've done one transaction between parents and their son with no realtors involved. I'll never do that. Let me tell you what. That for sale by owner. That FISBO, thank you for the question and comment.
Yes.
From any side of the transaction. I've been on the other side of the FISBO app acting as a realtor for a client buying a FISBO. It's like begging for money. Like, please pay me, sir. Please pay me. And I don't think, you think people assume that. Yeah. The client buyer thinks they're getting a better deal by the other realtor not being there. And I don't tell them, girl, they try not to pay me either. Shit. So they try. Sorry, y'all. It slipped. I just got emotional.
Sorry, Grandma, if you watching.
Sorry. So they tried to cut my commission down, thinking like, I'm like, girl, they cutting the cost of the house down because they not trying to pay me. I done brought your butt to the house.
Trying to cut you out of there.
Yeah, so I'm like.
You recognize this commenter right here?
No, because everybody has different names on Twitch and what they have. Some names I'd be like, I don't know who that is.
You don't recognize that guy?
Is that our Bob from United?
Ben Sabansky.
Oh, that's Ben! I thought it was Bob. Ben, I'm sorry.
That's Dick Bansky right there.
Shout out to Ben. I think I got your card in my wallet, Ben. I'm going to mess up the name of the company. Give it to me.
Just give him a quick shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Ben.
That boy know what he doing.
Give us your company name. We haven't said your company name yet.
Nexa Mortgage.
Nexa Mortgage.
And listen, and got his wife on deck processing. You know
Good
what
job.
I mean? She's sharp. Nicest person in the world. You
Good
know what
job.
I mean?
You need the processor.
Yeah, man. She's a sweetheart.
Because see, the realtors, we interact more with the processors than the LO. Mm-hmm. My LOs, I'll be like, here's the purchase agreement and see you at closing. Whatever. And I tell my clients that too. But it's hard to tell them now because of COVID, you can't meet them in person, really.
Right.
when you tell people stuff, I'm like, hey, that bankruptcy, that car you didn't pay last month, tell that all to your LO. There's nothing. Whatever they gonna have you do, you
let them know. Yeah,
you do that. I'm here for the close, and I'm here to help you get. My job is to find the house or sell your home and get you the best deal possible. When they whipping out them 1003s and 1090, I'm like,
all these numbers and letters.
I'm like, it's algebra to me. I'm like, goodbye. Like, no.
And let me touch on something you just said. You said about, in the age of COVID-19. It's so important that you have these social media platforms that you have. And I know you know this, but I want to put it out there. You don't get a chance to get to know your loan officer now. Like
you don't.
You're not shaking hands and meeting people like you used to. Well, here we got somebody like you making yourself available on social media. You can see this guy. You know what he's doing. You can follow him on different platforms. Like, you're doing a big service to the community, man.
Oh, thank you. It's a big deal. Yeah. I try to give everybody the best information I can, the most up-to-date information I can, because when I bought my first house, I was before the big, and my audience knows this, I bought before the bubble burst. They treated me like, I don't even say garbage. It was the garbage that's tipped out of the garbage. That the trash man left.
Garbage truck juice?
Yeah, it was garbage truck juice. It was with a bank who shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
I had to do a short sale. I didn't know what any of this meant.
Yeah.
I think I walked away with like $5,000 and it just didn't show up on my credit. But I was like this. I was back at home.
You know what? See ya. Yeah.
I was like, so
I'm through with this house and y'all.
What do I do now? I was like, it was kind of embarrassing, but not embarrassing. But I swear, a month after I did mine, now it was on the news. We gonna help and bail you out.
Oh, what year was this?
This was the big one. 08, 09.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I was right before. I was months before the big collapse.
Looking back, could you have held out and got helped?
I think so, but they were being so mean and nasty. I think I could have went. I didn't know nothing about United, Quicken, nobody. I didn't know. I was racked. You know how mortgages used to be.
Yeah.
You went you went to whoever, and that was just that. I didn't know what a broker was. I didn't know what an LO was. Everybody really used to walk into big bank and be like, "I want to buy a house."
Yeah.
And that was just that.
And
so
drag you through the process.
I ended up having 2 mortgages. I thought I was just having one. The second coupon book came. I was like, "What's that for?" I was like, "What's that?" I can handle the one book, but
what's all this?
Yeah, my house note ended up being like, it was a smaller home. The first note was $600. That second was $400. I said, "Oh, I can't do this."
Yeah, that's the thing.
It was $1,000 a month for this. I was like, "You said $6." In my head, I had $1,000 for bills and taxes and whatnot, but I was like, $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Then my basement flooded, and it was just after that. At that point, I had checked out, so when the short sale came, I was just like, whatever. But I digress. But I try to tell people not. So just so you think, even with all the knowledge that's out there now, people don't know.
And you mentioned, I hate to cut you off here.
No, go ahead. Please cut me off.
You mentioned all the knowledge that people have now. We got this in our phone, our hand all the time.
They're taking cat pictures.
You can Google anything. You can go to YouTube. You can do what we're doing now and look up your videos.
A client brought me a suitcase full of money to a closing. People don't know. They don't. I was like, "Who was that for?" They were like, "Oh, this is to pay the title company." I was like, I've had people ask me, people have talked themselves out of buying homes because they think they still need 20% down, 25% down. I'm like, no. You need 3 to 5%, or you need 6%, or you need whatever. I said, I've never had a client, knock on some wood. Who is this? Fine day. Oh, thank you. We're in good health. I've never had a client put more than 6 or 7% down. I have run into that lately. With rates being how they are now, and this is probably the only election question I'm going to ask, because
don't even get you started.
I'm not. No. What do you think? Because you said rates went down today, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Where are they today?
I mean, they're still in the 2s, but like just the cost.
Just the cost of doing it. Because
good day to lock.
But so y'all making more money now for the rate being low off of volume of number of loans, or just the purchase price of the loan?
Volume.
So you need, instead of the one loan, you need 2 or 3.
Well, I mean, yes.
Okay.
I hasten to say yes because you said need, But I get we talk the same language. Like you just got more people who are like, oh, rates are low, or they're hearing rates are low. They're seeing every website you go to.
Low rate. Oh
man, and if you type the word mortgage in your computer,
it's over for you.
Everybody call. I'm coming to your house.
I might be knocking at you like this.
You know what I mean?
Are you looking in the Oakland way in Macomb County?
I'm coming there with food too. Let's talk about it.
Let's have a conversation.
So I mean, everybody in word of mouth. Your uncle telling you something. I seen this on Facebook. I seen this on social media. Like, people know that rates are low. Historically low.
Right.
No one knows how long it's gonna last. But internally, we're saying it's gonna be around for a while because COVID-19 is not really going nowhere. I mean, I hate to say it.
It's gonna magically disappear in January.
Here you go.
But
that's the situation. Like, people know that they can get a deal done and get into their dream home right
now. Speaking of COVID, I was trying to deal on this, but you, my brother, I can talk. I'm a non-essential employee because we got shut down when the shutdown happened. Mm-hmm. But I was telling my videographer, shout out to Trip Audio Visual.
Trip T-Rip.
So I said that they didn't know what to do with the realtors, inspectors, appraisers, because we kind of feed off each other. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I had one deal that saved me, thank goodness, going right before COVID. Do they shut y'all down because are you technically classified as a banker? Are you classified did they leave y'all up last summer? What did y'all do?
That's a good question. So when COVID first hit, I was still an account executive.
Okay.
So we were an essential worker at that time.
Okay.
And I think now we're to the point, and I look back on it, and when you're in one industry, it's easy to forget about other people and what they're dealing with and how that thing would affect them. Mm-hmm. So specifically COVID-19 affecting you as a realtor. So I would ask you the question, what was it like for you when COVID first hit?
We were okay until we were deemed non-essential because we technically are licensed through the state, but we're self-contracted, which means we pay our own insurance and our own benefits and all that other mumbo jumbo.
Didn't you guys do like virtual tours and stuff for a while?
Who would a bunch of
It don't seem like
Lord Jesus.
If I'm buying my dream house, I don't want to do
what a shit show the virtual tours were. And let me tell you why. The virtual tours, my broker had great success doing what I was looking like, this is not for me. Mm-hmm. Some clients wanted you selling your house to videotape your own house at 6 o'clock with the cat running around and the girls playing hopscotch and you cooking, and I'm like,
forget about it.
This not make me want to move into this house because you got to pick you where we gonna see a house.
Yeah,
people that are buying a house don't want to see a wash rag, a dish towel. They don't want to see nothing.
And there's a certain theatric to it.
Also. Yeah,
when me and you went out
to
see them
houses. I'm on the show, baby.
Yeah, I remember that one house he walked into. And it was the selling agent was in there sitting at the table, and I was like, "That's what I'm talking about."
Yeah, like hi,
offering coffee and cookies, and I'm like, "How you doing, baby?"
How you doing? Yeah. So it took a whole lot of, like I said, the action out of it took a whole bunch of the bonding, the showmanship of it.
Exactly.
Every house has a smell, and if I tell people I can't smell it, I can't live here. Like I don't know, Like, to me, my house smells like outside because of all these trees around, so I have to make sure I got a plug in going all the time. And I'm like, this house.
Hey, but that's the truth.
Yeah, I'm like, every house has a smell, and change your furnace with it. That's where the smell is coming from. But yeah, for us, the state kind of doesn't bother us, realtors. But now we were like, oh, are we getting a check or no? They didn't know how to do our unemployment. So when we filed for unemployment, they told us no.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us yes until everybody started complaining that we didn't get any money. And this is my show, so I can say when I'm going to just give it to y'all. I'm going to give it to y'all asses plain today.
Straight up, no chaser.
I almost had a complaint filed on me by the realtor board. I said I have money saved, and our broker, shout out to Derek Warinka. Derek was like, if y'all need something, let me know.
Oh, that's what's up.
So they still were charging us. We could charge a quarter and we could charge every month. So I was like, oh, what are y'all going to do about us paying? Because we couldn't use it. They were like, what you mean? I put it on Facebook. They called me like, can you take that down? I was like, but y'all still charging us. Do you know they took them 2 months to say, we'll give y'all a reduced rate? I was like, but what about the people who haven't had a sale?
Yeah.
And then some realtors were like, I'm called unemployment, but I'm not getting through. And I got through with the grace of God. And it was just like,
I remember that.
Yeah, well, I was
a lot of folks were having the same problem.
Same issue because the state wasn't ready for that.
And I was just about to hit that point. You know, I'm an ever optimistic person.
Yeah,
like it was tough at the beginning because nobody had ever
been through this. I wasn't blaming anybody.
And we were all in the same boat together.
In the same boat,
not knowing how we're gonna come out of this.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it, we still not really out of it. But enough time has passed to where
save your money. We
got a better understanding of like what we're dealing with, how to kind of navigate through these waters and whatnot.
Right.
But I never knew that y'all had to deal with that part of it.
We didn't know. They didn't know what they were going to do with us work-wise. And if we could go back to work, now we didn't know you could die from a sneeze.
Right.
Or I don't have kids. Or my grandparents have went on, rest in heaven, grandmamas. So I didn't have anybody elderly to look after. Yeah. But then I have a niece and nephew, and I was like, well, do I be around them? Do I go take it to my sister?
That's tough, man. That's tough.
We didn't know from the showing standpoint, even when we go back, even now I'm super careful. Mm-hmm. When we first went back, I was like, because the tests weren't really a thing then. When it first came out, nobody was getting
you ain't finding a test. I mean,
it was like a test. I ain't got no temperature, I'm just going. So when we went back to work, I was looking sideways like, how this gonna work? And so I have allergies, and so sometimes I might wake up with a headache or go to bed with a headache, or
that's the worst,
or whatever. I was switching doctors at the time, so I didn't. This was my first time going to his office, and so I was like, Lord, it was really. And to go back to the thing, I had insurance, but I had decent insurance,
right.
But it was like whatever. So I said, let me really pay for some good insurance to go to a real doctor. And then I was like, what about the people who can't? Man. And so it got to be, thank you guys, my job, and let me work. But it was like, I said, let me really dive into social and really dive into everything so I can have side businesses.
Perfect time for that transition.
Yeah, I was like, let me make sure that if I need to, shout out to the DJ Realty Solution mugs and holiday gear that'll be coming soon.
I still got mine, but I'll take another one.
Right. I was like, oh,
double fisted.
I was like, oh, that's $19.95. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, let me start to transition to selling this or offering my services for social media for that. I said, because whatever way the state, even now they're talking about not locking us back up, shutting down non-essential. I didn't know I was essential until they said I was non-essential. Now that's a word. I didn't know I was not. I was like, what you mean I can't show houses?
Right.
Because you know how we think, I'm going to show 5 more and then they can do whatever they want to do. They're like, no, you're done today.
Just let me get these last few out the way.
I had an inspection. I went to pay the guy. My client gave me the check. Paid the inspector. She shut us down the next day. My deal made it by a day. Because if you didn't have the inspection set up, your deal was on pause. And I think they did it because the inspector was putting himself in danger because you're going into the house. I think people forget part of real estate. We got to go in the house while some of y'all in the office typing. We're actually in these houses like, and this is the bathroom, this is the this, and this is the that.
And got to be good at it, too.
And got to be good at it. You can't.
The theatrics I was talking about.
Going into the house now with gloves and a mask on, I could really adjust. I'm a chubby guy. So I was like, I'm out of breath. I'm sweating, Lord. So it took a little bit of doing to even get used to it now and cut the number of people down who can come and the showings. So we were like, this is the thing, and I'm happy we're more aware of what's going on now as opposed to when we first got started, because that was a little bit of a thing, and it was just like, I didn't know if we were going to come back real estate wise as strong as we are now. This market, from my side of the table, I sold a house yesterday, 8 hours. Agents were complaining, well, why'd you sell it so quick? Or I was like, but you have to go now because of the election. I was of the ilk, I love that word, of the ilk, that once they have our votes, they put us back in the house for Thanksgiving. I was like, once they announce whatever they're going to announce.
You were just prepared for it.
I was prepared for it. I was like, let me just go. And I told my clients, no pressure. But I was like, whatever you're going to do now.
But just know, this is about to pop off, and we don't know what's about to pop off.
Just because I was like, when I asked you about the rates and how I'm not trying to count nobody's money. I was like, with these rates, does he need more loans? Or does he just do purchase price for the loan? Or I said, because I just don't know how they gonna put everybody in the house and let y'all work. And if y'all working, what do y'all do? Do y'all just do straight See, then that's what we didn't think was fair, loan officers. Y'all got to do refis, and we were sitting at home like this, eating beans, like, Lord, what about us? What about us? We were like, so we see the Ellis doing refis. We were like this. How you refi my client I sent to you? And I'm like, well, Lord, what about me?
I don't know what you're talking about, David. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay. When they let y'all work into refis, we were like this. So I'm calling Marvin, and he over here not hating. I was like,
but you realistic? Like, you still like, man? Wait, we in the same industry almost.
Right?
Like, what's really going on? I feel you.
How was he essential to get to go to his office, or even better, in his pajamas on the couch working from home?
Well, look, that's the beauty of like the same thing that you're doing here right now.
And shout out to my couch that did make it through a COVID. I ordered the couch. Shout out to the Big Bob's Discount Furniture. You ever got to go? It was great. Shout out. That was great. My couch did not make it through COVID. It's leaning out like leaning on the everlasting. I never knew fellowship. What of your divine leaning?
What you know about that?
That was Trinity Missionary Baptist Church.
Hey, Reverend Cox, rest in love, baby.
So you knew it was either time to leave or the program changed. They started singing that. So,
that's the benediction song right there.
Because my couch, I didn't used to be in my living room / studio. I was always kitchen, bedroom, go show houses. Mm-hmm. So when I was at home, I was like, well, you think about it. I said, well, my LOs are still working. I said, well, I said, well, I need some bill money. I'm calling one of them like, hey, you got $50. You got that? What's it? The high 40? Like,
you remember that one time?
I sent you that client? I need $40.
You know, I wouldn't ask if I ain't need it.
So it was like when you find out you're non-essential, I was like, so who's essential?
Yeah.
I was like, so do I make myself an LO for the month? Be like this. So surprise, I'll do the calling. I'll do the what? Speaking of the calling,
yeah.
Can we get the list that the poll workers were calling from? Shout out to the people who say they're going to give me a lead. Baby, I don't need it. Lead me to that call list. That list was so damn accurate and right on the money.
I'll take it from here.
If you give me 100 of them names and numbers, I was like, because people who are registered to vote probably will buy or sell a house. So I was like,
you ain't joking.
I said, oh, y'all texting. They using social media. They using it. I was like, oh. My God, man. And I want to tell people, this is the power of social media.
Damn it, I couldn't wait for the election to be over with. Just to begin.
They were still texting last night.
I got a couple
last night. Yep. I was like, oh, wait, we got a question. Who was that? Was the husband said, hey, girl, hey. Oh, hey, did you home?
QB.
You at your dad's house, I hope? Y'all, they were having an issue down in Detroit, so I had to get my sister home.
Way to be a big bro, too, right there.
Right, like, hey, like, I know you want to hear this, and you making your money.
He wasn't pulling no punches either.
Yeah, I was like, hey.
He was like your mama with a switch in his hand.
Right, like, it's something going on, need you to go home.
Yeah.
So we were like, I forgot what I was talking about.
That talking about the folks text messages.
Yeah, so I was telling
calling too.
Because I don't know if you get this call. I get calls from companies. Oh, I'm gonna give you the leads. Honey, I don't need the lead. Give me the actual client. I don't want you to call for me because then I'm a prisoner of yours.
Yeah.
And remind me, I gotta show you this lead thing that does work. Remind me.
Please do.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you when we transition to Wine Wednesday.
Well, let's just get back onto these text messages though. I ain't through with that. That's the part that tripped me out the most. It's like you got all these different people calling and texting you.
Hey, Collin.
Oh my God, you know me. Is this Collin? Who is this?
What?
Tisha from 8th grade?
Right, like what? No.
This is such and such with the Dems, with the Green Party. But the other part is that, like, did you see on social media people would screenshot their responses to those texts?
Yes.
That was funny.
That was
people
pure
won't let you
gold.
down. Yes, indeed.
That was pure gold.
Yep.
What do you do? So, I forgot I was going to say, he threw me off with
my bad.
No. It's fine. The brain, I try not to miss them. My brain be clicking. So what do you do now? Because we started off the year with a bang.
Yep.
What's in your plan now? Because that was the theme of the show, yo. Until I got sad. That was me getting saturated. I'm sorry. How to finish the year out strong. And I think this election has showed us. Get into your sphere.
That's the best question you could ask me. And this is why. One, this. just really getting out there. And I haven't really done any advertising. Like, people don't know I'm a loan officer just yet. Like, a few people know.
He's a loan officer, y'all.
I mentioned earlier, Jesus prepared 30 years for a 3-year ministry. Like, my preparation is still ongoing, but I'm just now having this party to say, hey, you guys, I'm in the industry. If you have any questions, call me. But what I'm doing is helping people who were like me, who wanted to buy a house, but didn't really think they could ever buy a house.
Right.
I think that my credit been bad all my life. My mama credit was bad. I've been playing landlords and going from apartment to apartment. Like, that time is over. But where does it start? It starts now, saving your money, getting your credit right, because come January, February, what's happening? Them income tax is coming.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? We through buying Jordans. You can't live in Jordans for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So I'm getting prepared by, getting my social media game right, getting my public outreach game right.
And when you say taxes, y'all, when y'all get your tax refund, don't spend it.
Don't spend it. What else do you need to put in that little apartment?
That's because I think when people are like, oh, I owe such and such. Oh, I owe the IRS. I said, when they give you the refund back, just give it back to them. Or everybody you know that you can give them a payment with the IRS for $100 a month.
Yeah.
To get your house, you just got to pay 2 months. If you're in a payment plan for 2 months, you do the letter of explanation, you can still get it. You give my mama was shout out to mama, rest in heaven. My mama was $100 a month queen for them bills. She's like this. I'm gonna just give everybody $100, and I'm
and they'll take it happily.
You give Uncle Sam $100, you give Visa $100, you give DTE $100, you give everybody $100, and you just go. And I think that when you get, who was this saying? 40 minutes in, and Collin House brought up a Tim Tebow reference. I think that's a.
Since you brought it up,
you brought it up,
but David, to kind of get back on that point you made, you're educating people right now. Helping people, tell them what they can do. Like, a lot of folks, I'm gonna just be honest, from our backgrounds, they might not know the power of buying their first home. Yeah, and what you can do to leverage that home. It jumps your
credit
future.
Immediately. Yes. Don't y'all know when you buy the house, the condo, the townhouse, or whatever? That's how you get the new Suburban or the Charger. You get the house first, and you leverage that to say, no. My interest rate not 2%. Now it's 5%. You're going to charge me 5%.
Somebody posted this on Facebook a couple months ago, and it cracked me up. And it was like, it's a lot of 29% interest rate chargers running around the city of Detroit right now.
I'm like, when you get the house, it's like now with my insurance. I was an car insurance hopper. And then when I got it down, I was like, oh. I had a couple lapses. Listen, I was surviving, y'all. Jesus was a ram in the bush around that car. I was like,
a ram, because car in the thicket.
Car insurance used to be crazy. It went down, thank God. So now I have to negotiate. Now with my company, they tried to auto renew me. I was like, I'm calling them back probably tomorrow or Friday. Like, hey, I want a lower rate than what y'all.
Listen, that's another nugget. This guy is out here giving y'all nuggets.
Now, when you shop your car insurance, you can really shop and tell the people if you love the car insurance company that you with, because when they passed that law, everybody's stuff went down. Don't let them just give you that $15 credit that one time. I told man, keep that credit, make my bill under this amount every month.
Let's work on that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want the $15. That's nothing to y'all.
You got a Comcast.
To write off $15. I was like, that's nothing. I was like, I tell everybody, once you buy that house, call everybody. The big interest bill you got, the low interest bill you got, call everybody. Renegotiate everything. When you do your refi, renegotiate everything. Make it work for you. Don't just sit there with that house or paying I know people paying $1,800 a month for rent, $2,000 a month.
That's
I'm
crazy.
Like, you crazy. Save up 3 months, you could buy whatever house you want.
What's that sign you held up that one time?
Fire your landlord. Fire your landlord. Like, no.
And that's gonna roll into another sign you held up. Your comfort zone will kill you.
Yeah, your comfort zone will kill you.
Get comfortable in them apartments, man.
Speaking of comfort zone will kill you, that's maybe we say that topic for the next time we on. That New York with comfort zone. When I tell you, and I know Tripp is going to say nothing, that opportunity at that dinner table came out of nowhere. I almost fell out of this chair like, you want me to move with y'all and be rent free for a year and come to New York.
Wait, what you saying, Dave? Like, make it plain. You talking in hieroglyphics right now. What you saying?
I got a job offer basically to live rent free in New York for a year.
Okay.
From starting in April to do real estate. And I was like, I'm really seriously thinking about it. But it was just comfort zone. And I was like, sometimes I make a meeting and something that slaps me in the face. Like, you talking about other people's comfort zone. Look at your comfort zone. Like, you here, you're settled, and your neighborhood is safe. And you know, I was like, oh, you have to start from scratch. But there's been little hints and things along the way. I was on a call. Well, you were here. I was on a call earlier, and I wasn't intimidated, but I was like, these folks don't know what I know. I was like, so whatever you're doing, get great at it.
Yeah.
Depth, not breadth. Depth. I'm so focused on fucking social media.
I'm a tiger.
I want to be the best at it, so nobody can ever. Somebody asked me, was I ready? I was like, what?
I stay ready.
I was like,
I believe that was a direct quote. I stay ready.
Now social media, accuse them all, Ben. So with social media, I got real estate, I got. Like, you know, loans, I wouldn't dare be like, your rate is going to be, then you need to pay, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I know I got a question about loans. Why do they make my people pay the homeowner's insurance a year up front? What is that about?
I mean, you gotta that's just nationwide. That's
it's industry. A thing.
Yeah, you gotta pay a cushion.
See, that comes from me not knowing. I used to look at people's clothes and it's like,
and it's not the whole year. Like look at it this way. If I'm buying a home from somebody else, they probably I'm thinking about taxes. I'm about to go into something totally different. But I mean, your insurance companies, they're gonna ask for that money. That's just a nationwide situation right there.
Okay.
And listen, let me back up just a little bit, because you throw some stuff out here, and I'm
like, bam!
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Left hook.
Like I mentioned earlier about the gold nuggets that you're giving out to people who
and you give them out to. I'll be like, why is that?
The same way you and I would drive to the radio show. I would pick up things from you. I would talk to Q, pick up things from her. Ben Sabansky, a guy I just messaged a little bit ago. Like, I had an aha moment recently. And it's like, it's being introspective, man. I'm hard headed. My grandma always said that, boy, a hard head make a soft ass.
Right.
So, like, Ben will say something to me, and I get defensive instead of like understand, like, this dude know what he talking about. Why don't you listen and get better? You know what I mean? Same thing with you. Like, you're giving this good information. I had an epiphany this morning. Like, dude, you're in a great situation. You're working with somebody who wants to teach you and wants to help you get better.
You're not off about yourself like,
yes, because I very well could be. When you and I were on a radio show, the day that you were like, you know, A Star Is Born, don't turn your camera off, don't do this. Like, you were at that point planting seeds, and now it's starting to manifest. And I ain't trying to preach, I know it sounds like it, but now it's starting to manifest and bear fruit. So,
because if you look at it now, I'll take the celebrities. My coach was like, have you looked at TV lately? Isn't it awful? And I spoke with Tripp about this.
They're the same.
I said, if I made $10 million an episode, tear this wall down and put up my home studio. Because what you want to watch tonight?
Right. Whatever it is.
You don't even care no more.
No. And then you get to pick whatever it is. And I'm streaming stuff anyway.
Right. So I'm like, instead of, they didn't, and I'm not throwing stones at anybody. I think now, I hope that some of them saw that you're dependent on that studio. I'm in my life. This is my studio.
And the best part about it is people want to see you.
They want to see.
And they want to be, and you got to interact with people.
And I used to look at some stuff on there, and I wasn't judging. I just was like, I would go on Celebrity Net Worth. You worth $300 million, and you got your cell phone up. I'm like, hey, videographer, put that mask on with the makeup guy and the craft truck and the lighting director back there with the boom operator. And see, I know my stuff.
That boy's there with the boom operator. The best boy.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, the keyboard play over there. And I'm like, hey, gussy me up. It costs a lot to look this cheap. I'm like, and people always ask me, why do you do all that? And why? I'm like, because you aren't.
I was gonna say, why do you not?
Why do you not do it?
Matter of fact, keep not doing it.
Keep not doing that.
Yep, you're right. I don't know why I do it. I'm something must be wrong with me.
You a singer. I'm not calling on nobody. If it was me, if I was a popular R&B pop singer, I would have been going live every Friday. Y'all, I'm gonna sing Y'all picked one of my songs when sing. I'm gonna sing it live. Not one of them motherfuckers did that. Not one. They did the versus battle. Some people. I couldn't be who's popular. I couldn't be Drake. I know he got stuff coming out. I would have been at home like this. What y'all want to see me rap in my basement? You ain't got to pay me just to stay relevant.
And the cool part is, and I'm gonna bring this back to you. People want to see Drake.
They want to see. People would have paid to see him stream from his house.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I couldn't believe that COVID threw everybody off so that I was like, oh, let me get my fat butt behind this camera. Like, hey, everybody, on today's open house, we're going to talk about this. And
I remember you hitting me with that, like, this is where I'm at. I remember I came over here. I'm like, what's all this equipment in here? What you about to do?
I'm like, oh.
And then I was like, well, how can I, like, Brandy, how can I be down?
I was like, because social has taken out the middleman. You can do your own Collin's Corner. Today we're going to talk about interest rates. And this is what interest rate is. I can produce your show.
It's something to be said about authenticity too. Like, this is raw Damon.
This is me. This is us. I'm sorry to cuss and yell at the microphone, y'all. That just made me so... I look at the people who have... I mean, I got basic stuff, and the guy who does my stuff, shout out to Trip Audio Visual, who does my stuff, I'm in my house. I'm like... Y'all can rent out studios to do your show, and I'm like, keep not doing what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, HGTV, for not hitting me back that day. I messaged and I think I may have blackballed myself, and I just put it out there. I was like, y'all only got one black host, is Egypt Sherrod. I need to see more of myself. Why don't I see more of my? I've been watching HGTV for 20-some years. Why don't I see myself more on y'all show? Ain't no black male realtors in America that could be on HGTV.
And I'm gonna hit you with this one. I'm watching. If you on HGTV, I'm watching. I'm already watching it.
Yeah.
What this dude gonna say this week?
I'm like, what I mean? And I don't mean one episode of House Hunters. I mean my own show. I was like, so there's no way y'all. I mean, it doesn't even have to be me. It could be a Latino lady, anybody.
Just some diversity.
It's more realtors than white men and women. I was just so, and I'm not getting political, y'all. This is one thing.
Well, I mean, let's being honest.
Yeah,
though. Like,
I was just
keep
like,
it real. That the audience who watch HGTV, you mean to tell me they wouldn't tune in to see you on TV?
The original lady who hosted House Hunters was Asian. She passed. But she was Asian. They still use her voice. I hope her family gets money off that.
Getting royalties.
That Susie Wine. Susie hosted House Hunters. She is a little black bob. She would come on. My mom would be like, Susie on there. Like, even back then I was like, I've been watching y'all for 20 plus years, and I do not see an honest representation of myself as a little black boy growing up now. You would be like, ooh, what he doing? He a realtor. That's an option for me.
And I'm gonna bring it back to where you live. You have the opportunity now. You've cut out the middleman. I don't need HGTV.
Yeah, I love y'all, but I don't need y'all.
I'm my own HGTV.
Yeah, I'm my own HGTV.
Who's to say another kid coming up just like you is
I'm gonna be better than Damon at this point.
You know what I mean?
Damon had his house. I'm gonna have a studio. I'm gonna turn my whole garage into a studio. Baby, Apple started in the garage and sold to Mattel. So I was just sitting there like, that's why I try to reach out to my people, my clients, even to hear our voices, our thing.
Yeah.
It's every color of the rainbow, LO, out here now. You don't have to walk into a bank with hold your purse like, Lord, they're not going to give me a house. Girl, yes, they will. Yeah. They will give you a house. You're going to back up out that big bank.
Call us.
And we're going to get you situated. But it just goes back. I just was like, with COVID, it really, talking about aha moment, I was like, oh, if I keep doing what I'm doing, but do it, thanks, Gary, quadruple down on what I'm doing, then I'll be fine. I mean, opportunity only comes if you put yourself out there and you open to it. So I just was like, I look at you and it's like, look at him. I was like, I knew it though. I was like, this boy gonna be a star. And I was like, he think he gonna be a star right now. I said, no, he's really going to be a star when he has his own shop. I was like...
I appreciate it,
man. I was like, it's coming. I was just like, it's coming because I said he knows too much. He's very personable. It's the authenticity. I can't talk, y'all.
Authenticity. It gives me too. It gives me too.
Lord, I live. The tongue is just, I'm tight tongue, got a lip, so it don't roll out right. And you know your stuff. And you can tell people, like you said, don't buy them Jordans. I tell people, I'm going to take a sip off this one. Jordan don't wear Jordans.
No, you rarely see him in them. You rarely see him in them. And Damon, the reason I'm so passionate about that is because, like, growing up, man, I grew up poor. The first pair of Jordans I have, and I know Mike probably mad at me because I've been on this crusade. The first pair of Jordans I had, my sister owned them, and she threw them away. And I tiptoed to the back, and I got them, and I wore them. And she tried to take them back, and Grandma was like, nope, you threw them away, they're yours. And because I didn't have, I coveted these things for years. And I'm watching us do that. We're coveting these things that aren't getting us anywhere. Like getting us shot and killed. Let's get you a house. Buy a house. Build something for the future for your family.
I don't care if it's, and I don't care if it's a land contract. At least it's on something. At least get something. Even if it's a car in your name, you got to get first. Get a reasonable car. I've never seen more fancier cars with people that I'm looking at. They come to me like, I never seen people pull up in a Charger talking about a first-time homebuyer program. I was like this. And shout out, it ain't none. Stop calling me about them first-time homebuyer program. I be looking like this. Now, every company will have a special or something. Mm-hmm. But to call the realtor to say, hey, my cousin bought a first-time homebuyer program, I was like, you wouldn't call them back because I don't.
And that's more of a loan officer. That's
I was like, let me give you this guy's number because I don't have that. But it just was like and I used to be like, I was a label whore, mm-hmm. where
a lot of us were.
I asked and I got it. Mm-hmm. The old school Thursday picture I did, that's a whole polo outfit I got on in the 5th grade.
For real?
I know. I remember that outfit. I was wearing polo back then, and what I got to show for not nothing.
And that's exactly my point.
I was Versace from head to toe, flying to Chicago, doing the most. Mm-hmm. I look back now and got number pictures for Throwback Thursday.
And who?
Like, this that one mink coat I bought that month. Like,
hey David, who was we trying to impress?
No, people that don't like us,
and we probably don't even still talk to nowadays. What? Nothing to show for it.
I don't know 10 people I still talk to that I used to talk to buying all that stuff. I mean, I used to buy. My mama used to say, "You're gonna be the sharpest thing at the homeless shelter." She said, "Why is Gucci calling my house name?" And I said, "Girl, my pants is there." Anyway, Gucci calling y'all. I was like, my outfit there. Shout out to Fawn. Fawn was my sales lady at Gucci. Damon, I used to love Fawn. This is when Somerset only had one side, y'all. Get into the old Somerset.
You gotta have an 800 FICO to get in that other one.
I was shopping like my life, but we grew up shopping, not owning. Mm-hmm. I grew up shopping. Mm-hmm. And I tell people now, people be like, you used to be so fly. And I done got so cheap. When I went to New York was the first time I think I bought more than one outfit at one time this year. Mm-hmm. I was like, I guess I'm about to, and I was in JCPenney like this. Is this shirt really $19.99? I don't like I want to use it at home. I started on the clearance rack like.
Oh, immediately.
I was like, is this too summery? No, it's Michigan. It would be all right. So I say that to say I think what the money I've donated to Somerset, I call it a donation. Yep. I could have been on Silverbill in whatever house. I could have owned a couple of houses off of Turtle Island in Bloomfield.
Man, don't even get me started.
If I bought a $600 Moschino t-shirt.
Well, listen here.
So
let me shift gears on you. When you talk about the money that 2 minutes or one. The money that we wasted. It's the last point I'm gonna make here. Think about all of the money that we've blown on late fees and not paying bills on time. I think about that all the time.
I'm still tacky with consumers. Ooh, sorry, consumers. I'll get the bill and put it right in the visor.
Yep, I know what you mean.
Instead of going to pay it
and know better.
And be in Kroger and walk right past the customer service desk. Like,
you can knock this out right here, right now. It's silly, man. We shoot ourselves in the foot.
Thank you for the late fees, y'all. See that nugget right there? Yeah. And you know the late fees affect your credit? I didn't know that.
Yep. Sting them every time.
I did not know that.
Every single time.
People think it's things when you... we run out of time here. If I gave Collin to give all her stuff. The late fee on your DTE consumer's phone bill stings your credit, not just your Visa and your I'm old, I said Discover card, Jesus. Your Visa and your MasterCard, it's the regular household bills that sting your credit. I did not know that.
It's death by 1,000 cuts. You don't think it before you know it.
I did not know that. if you didn't pay DTE on time, it's like a boink.
Nah,
they charge you the fee, but they be like boink. I was like, oh, I didn't know how that goes. Y'all, we gotta do part 2. I knew this shit was gonna happen when he came on. We gotta do part 2 of the Twitch stream because my staff saying I got 10 minutes.
Hey, wrap it up.
So I want to shush. Collin, you give where we can find you, your phone number. Give it twice because people don't write nothing down.
You got it.
Your email address, all your contact information, what pages you're on, how to get to you. You give them that, and I'm gonna be quiet.
So again, thanks for having me, Damon. I've been waiting to get on the show. Collin Simpson, loan officer with Nexa Mortgage. My email address is csimpson@nexamortgage.com. Nexa is NEXA. That's C Simpson, like the cartoon. I know. At nexamortgage.com. Phone number 248-872-6557. Facebook, just Google, or just Facebook, Collin Simpson, Collin with 2 L's. Hit your boy up. Specifically, if you have any questions, if you're thinking about buying a house, call me. If you're thinking about buying a house, call Damon, and we'll get you on the right track.
Awesome sauce. Well, we have to do part 2 because
please.
This was super exciting. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I have to transition to another show right now, so I can put my other hat on.
That's how you know he bad. My other show.
I gotta transition to another show, so I can put my the other DJ Realty hat on. So I hope that you guys have a great, safe rest of your week. Don't watch the news too much, y'all, because you can have it on. Turn that volume off. You can drive yourself crazy.
Let's coalesce.
Right.
Word
Yeah.
Coalesce.
Yes.
We love each other, y'all.
So I'm hoping the best for you. Let's finish the year out strong. I hope something that you heard today will help you in your financial situation. And if you don't have the money to buy a house this year, it's always next year. Don't beat yourself up. I only got $2,000 saved.
But get on the track to get to that point.
For March, April next year. That's when it's going to heat up again. So you just get ready for next year. I don't want you to feel defeated because you think, oh, they done made it. Girl, I'm still working on my credit.
We all are, but it's a good time right now to get yourself in that mindset of what am I doing for the future.
Yeah, so remember that you guys stay safe. Keep your mask on. Save your money. Check us out. Don't forget, if you haven't followed Collin, I know you already follow me. Make sure you follow Collin. I'm going to get him more on social. That's my goal.
I've been
working on it for 3 damn years, y'all. So I think he's about ready. Now, I hope he sees that.
I see the light.
So I will tune off now. And as always, here's something that your open house will close soon. Bye, everybody.